sad day at this Southern Kentucky high school after a teenager was killed in a crash on his way to school.
The son of a man accused of killing a 7-year-old girl is now in jail. The reason police arrested him.
Some felons can vote again in Kentucky. We'll explain the executive order the governor signed today.
This is WKYT News at 5.
He was on his way to school when a car crash took his life.
London police say 17-year-old Jacob Downey's truck collided with a utility truck this morning on the Hal Rogers Parkway. We are learning more about the North Laurel High School senior. WKYT's Phil Pendleton shows us how he is being remembered in our top story at 5.
Jacob Dale Downey, described by the principal as simply a good kid who came to school every day. Now his absence a tough blow on a day that normally would have been filled with excitement over the upcoming holiday weekend break.
Kids are looking forward to being off for 3 days and spending time with their family, and then this happens.
17-year-old Jacob Dale Downey was killed less than a mile from his destination this morning at North Laurel High School. Police say his pickup truck and a utility truck collided on the Hal Rogers Parkway, a crash that shut down the road for 4 hours and left his friends and teachers devastated.
Kids have a hard time making sense of a tragedy like this, much as adults do, but it's even more difficult for kids.
That's why a crisis response team was called in and the school library used as a place for kids to talk and grieve.
Giving them that opportunity to be with each other and ask questions and just go through that grieving process.
London police are still investigating the crash. They say it appears that the truck that Downey was driving crossed over the center line and collided head-on with the electric utility truck. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The other driver, Hunter Bunch, was taken to a hospital in London.
A shooting sent a man to the hospital this afternoon. It happened about 1:15 in Lexington on Eastland Parkway. Police say they found the victim near a vehicle. He was alert when first responders took him to the hospital. No one has been arrested. This is the second shooting in that area. Just yesterday, someone was shot during a robbery along Jennifer Road. His father is charged with raping and killing a 7-year-old Southern Kentucky girl. And now Timothy Madden's son is behind bars. The Macon County Sheriff's Office in Tennessee arrested 20-year-old Bradley Madden on 16 counts of terroristic threatening and 16 counts of intimidating a participant in the legal process. Investigators say the charges are related to private messages Madden sent on Facebook. Jennifer Palumbo is at the live desk to explain the situation. Jennifer?
Sam, police say the charges are related to private messages Bradley Madden sent to the Scottsville Police Department's Facebook page on Saturday and Monday. One of them said, "I'm coming for you." We don't have specific details of his arrest, but at 8 last night, Madden posted this on his Facebook page. "I want to apologize for what I said. It hurts so bad about my dad." His father, 38-year-old Timothy Madden, is charged with murder, rape, sodomy, and kidnapping in the killing of Gabby Doolin. She was found dead in a creek behind Allen County Scottsville High School on November 14th. Yesterday, a judge refused to lower Timothy Madden's bond. It's $1 million full cash. After Bradley Madden's arrest in Tennessee, he was extradited to Allen County, Kentucky. At the live desk, Jennifer Palumbo, WKYT.
Bradley Madden is in the Simpson County Detention Center.
Kentucky's governor has restored voting rights to some felons. Governor Steve Beshear signed the executive order this morning, less than 2 weeks before the end of his term. WKYT's Monique Blair shows us who is eligible to have their rights restored.
At some point in their lives, they've been in trouble with the law. We ignore the fact that they have paid for their crimes and have served out their sentences.
Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear's executive order restores voting rights for felons provided they meet 3 criteria. They must have already completed the terms of their sentences. They must have no pending criminal cases, charges, or arrests, and they must not have been convicted of violent or sex-related crimes, bribery, or treason.
If you ask individuals to work hard, pay taxes, be good citizens, it is only fair that they should be able to do what other citizens do.
Shortly after Governor Beshear signed the executive order, House Republican floor leader Jeff Hoover released a statement saying in part, quote, "It should be the role of the legislature, not one person, which should address these issues through legislative debate," end quote. Citizens currently serving sentences will get a certificate of rights restoration and a voter registration application in the mail when they complete their sentence. Those who already have completed sentences will be able to contact the state to initiate that same process. In Frankfort, Monique Blair, WKYT.
An estimated 140,000 Kentucky citizens with past criminal convictions are immediately eligible to have their rights restored, and another 30,000 will be over time. If you are traveling tomorrow, Mother Nature should not give you any problems.
That's the good news. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here with a pleasant forecast, at least for a couple more days.
Yeah, exactly right. Good looking sunset in progress out there as well, guys. We're getting some of those little thin, wispy clouds. Those are ice crystal clouds that are just floating around out there. And check this out as our sun begins to kind of peek right through the bottom of those clouds right at sunset. But overall, should be filling up my Twitter feed here shortly with some great sunset pictures. That's what we're looking at now over top of Lexington. Temperature-wise, those numbers are into the 50s as we get those high clouds to stream on in across the entire area. We're dropping it into the low 50s now with that mix of late-day sun and clouds. Out and about this evening, hey, nowhere near as cold as the past several evenings. We'll generally stay in the 40s right on through 11 o'clock or so. You mentioned how nice things are looking for travelers to start the long holiday weekend. Once we get into that weekend, though, things are going to take a little turn toward the soggy side, and we will track the rains when I come back in less than 10 minutes.
Chris, thank you. The president of France is traveling the world to gather support in the fight against ISIS. Francois Hollande is pressing President Obama for more action, but the administration says coalition countries need to step up. Craig Boswell has more on Hollande's visit to the White House.
President Obama and French President Francois Hollande say they agree on the fight against ISIS.
It must be destroyed, and we must do it together.
A White House visit with the president is the first stop for Hollande, looking for a stepped-up military role from the U.S. and other coalition countries.
U.S. assistance has supported recent French strikes in Syria, and we're going to keep stepping up that coordination.
The meeting comes 11 days after terror attacks hit Paris, prompting France to intensify its airstrikes against ISIS in Syria. Hollande says the U.S. and Russia will need to work together to help fight the militant group. But the Obama administration says Russia must change its mission in Syria to focus solely on ISIS and not propping up Syrian President Bashar al-Assad.
Russia right now is a coalition of two: Iran and Russia supporting Assad.
The Obama administration has also insisted it's coalition countries that need to step up. Hollande now heads to Germany to look for support, then to Russia for a meeting with President Putin to deliver the same urgent message.
We must find a solution to the Syrian crisis because we can see what the risks are otherwise.
Russian fighter jets have been hitting Syrian targets, but the administration says the strikes are intended to help Assad survive against the very rebels the U.S. is backing. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
President Hollande's diplomatic visit became even more complicated after Turkey shot down a Russian warplane today. Turkey claims that plane flew into Turkish airspace, something Russia denies. The Cats hit the court in Rupp Arena tonight.
Yeah, many of the players are looking for more than just a win. WKYT's Rob Romley's here now to explain. Hi, Rob.
Hello, Amber. Hello, Sam. The Cats will be going for their 5th straight win as they take the court against Boston University as the #1 team in the country. Now, it is in the early season. John Calipari has several players competing for playing time. Among them, junior college transfer Michael Mulder. Mulder has been on the court for just 9 minutes in 3 games so far. He believes things are getting better.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost inevitable. You know, you can't really help but be confident being around such confident guys every day in the locker room. You know, in practice, we're all working hard and competing. So, you know, confidence, that's not something that's ever really been a problem for me. I feel like I'm growing as a basketball player every day. Playing against these guys, you get better. It's inevitable you can't not get better here.
So it is Boston University tonight. It is a late one. Tip-off set for 9 o'clock on the SEC Network. And coming up in sports, the Cats talk about their last game. That was last Friday night against Wright State, and Cal was not too happy with it.
All right, Rob, thanks so much. After tonight, the Cats head for Miami, where they play South Florida Friday.